In early 2022, the Solana NFT market is absolutely exploding. However, you need to be able to think independently, you need to be able to do your own research, and you need to be able to make informed decisions about which projects you buy, which projects you don't buy, and at what prices you buy and at what prices you sell. NFT IQ here. Welcome everybody to my new YouTube series on Solana NFTs in Q1 of 2022. As I mentioned, the marketplace is absolutely booming right now, and I wanted to publish a video series for independent thinkers who are interested in trading Solana NFTs. And we're going to kick off the series by discussing, are Solana NFTs worth it? And the answer to that question is yes for some people and no for other people. So you're going to want to watch this video and evaluate whether Solana NFTs are the right investment area for you and your trading techniques, the amount of time that you have, the amount of money you have. There are a couple different things to consider. And if you think Solana NFTs might be worth it for you, please continue through the playlist and watch the remainder of the videos because you need to be informed. There's a lot of bad projects out there. There's a lot of bad alpha out there. And if you're the kind of person who just likes to listen to people give shout outs and join alpha groups and try and get in while things are hot because social media gurus are pumping them, guess what? You're going to get burned in this marketplace because there's a ton of that going on. And I really want to inform everybody to make independent decisions, which is what the playlist is for. So that being said, let's dive into the question, are Solana NFTs worth it in 2022? I wanted to start off by discussing the primary strengths of Solana. First of all, and this is never discussed, but the transaction reliability is very, very high on Solana. Now, over the last couple of weeks, they have been experiencing some issues on Solana, but historically, before that, there were virtually no problems whatsoever whenever you were listing Solana NFTs, whenever you were buying Solana NFTs, whenever you were minting, you had a very high chance of being successful when you try to execute a transaction. And I believe that the Solana development community is really going to be able to fix the issues that are happening right now. So unlike Ethereum, where you have huge gas fees during minting events, and you can lose money on gas without even getting your NFT, without even actually minting the dang thing. There's so many problems over there. There's no way for the development team on Ethereum to solve those problems because they're stuck with that state proof of work implementation. There's really no timeline for Ethereum 2.0. So if you're looking for a reliable network where you can actually be sure that your trades execute at the time that you want them to, which is important, then Solana is probably the right choice. Same thing with the marketplaces. I think early on back in 2021, there was a bad impression for the Solana marketplaces that they were buggy, they didn't work well. Well, now guess what? Look at OpenSea, or Broken Sea as I like to call it. That place is a steaming pile of garbage, and I'm no longer using it. And in comparison, Magic Eden, Solana, all of these different NFT marketplaces on Solana, they run very smoothly. My wallet connects very well. I can buy and sell when I want to. I don't get bugs. And guess what? I'm really happy. I'm much happier trading on the Solana marketplaces than I ever was on OpenSea. Same thing with transaction speed and the cost. Obviously, everybody knows about the transaction costs are pennies on the dollar, and there's no gas fees. The other reason I like Solana is because right now the ecosystem is just much more consolidated. It's much easier to kind of grasp what is going on. In Ethereum, there's really just so much volume over there. There's so many new projects. There's so many influencers. It's just like a frenzy, and it can be very difficult to understand the trends, and it can be very difficult to maneuver that marketplace because it's just so chaotic and crazy. Whereas in Solana, there are fewer projects being minted every day. There are fewer people in the community. There are fewer blue chips, etc. So wrapping your head around everything that's going on is just a lot easier to do. And that can prove to be invaluable when you're making decisions on what you're going to buy and sell. Another advantage of Solana that people are already aware of is that there's a lower barrier to entry. So not only because there's no gas fees, but because the prices of the NFTs when they mint are generally lower. For somebody who's just starting out, this is a great place to start to build your wallet. And also, if you're somebody who maybe wants to practice with a low risk strategies, Solana is a really good place to kind of learn and practice and do that kind of thing. I've also noticed that the quality of projects on Solana is generally much higher. Okay, maybe not generally, but because the Solana crypto world has a lot of venture capital in it, and because the Solana blockchain actually works correctly and developers can actually build smart contracts, there is a ton of innovation in Solana that cannot happen on Ethereum, cannot happen on Bitcoin, etc. And so there are tech startups in Solana that are launching NFTs to fund their startup, and then they're providing real value with real technology tools that you can use that are going to bring value to your NFTs over time. On Ethereum, it really just feels like it's a rinse and repeat process now where it's like a pixel project. They issue a utility token where you're going to pay gas fees to do transactions with that, by the way. And then you might be able to do some staking. And really all those projects are just kind of rinse and repeat at this point. And yes, there's plenty of those on Solana as well. But if you go through this video series and you learn how to identify the strongest startups in the Solana ecosystem, which is what I invest in, then you're going to be able to find much higher quality projects here in Solana than on Ethereum. Last thing, and this goes hand in hand with the last point, that so the Solana world is just filled with really smart people. All of the people who are into technology and innovation, they are leaving Ethereum behind. They're leaving other blockchains and they're moving to other blockchains. Some of them are moving to Solana, some are moving to AVAX, some are moving to Hex, or, there's a million cryptos out there, but really some of the best development teams in crypto are Solana development teams, and those people are smart and they're in Solana for a good reason. The overall market trends for Solana. First of all, there's more money coming into the space. The ecosystem is growing, and this is we're just kind of part of the rising tide with NFTs and crypto in general. But also, I think a lot of people are going to start ditching Ethereum because of all the problems, and that money is just going to be channeled into Solana because it's really in second place in the race right now. And currently, project minting fees are relatively inexpensive. You could be looking as low as 0.33 Solana to up to 2 Solana for really nice projects. And honestly, that's less than almost any Ethereum project that you can mint. And in a lot of cases, it's even cheaper than the gas you would pay just to mint an Ethereum project. While there are probably, I would say 10, 15, 20 Solana projects launching per day right now, there's usually 2 to 3 that I think are really good that you could flip like that same day. So if you're into the mint and flip strategy, which by the way, there will be a video in the series about how to do that, then you can identify projects that have momentum behind them before they mint. On the mint, basically you could wake up in the morning, find the mint calendar and get in on projects that have hype behind them and just like flip day to day. And it's a lot easier to do that here than on Ethereum because it's just a smaller community. Also, there's an increasing level of confidence because there are NFT project audits that are happening. So while there are rug pulls on Solana, and that's a big problem, there is a new startup called RadRugs, which is now performing audits on Solana NFTs. So legitimate projects are actually paying for a certification from RadRugs to be audited, and then you can have additional confidence that your NFT that you're investing in isn't going to be a rug pull, and that is really cool. The biggest issue right now, in my opinion, with the overall marketplace is that there is a lot of uncertainty surrounding crypto prices. While things have been going sideways, I would say, for the last week or two, there has been a big dip from like a peak Solana back in maybe November. around 250 all the way down to 150 USD, and it seems to be just hovering there right now. But honestly, that trend is happening all the way across crypto, and everybody's going to be in a lot of trouble if Bitcoin crashes, obviously. So it is a risk that you need to consider for any NFT space, not just Solana, but I wanted to mention it here. Overall volume on Solana right now for NFTs, Solana being the number 2 marketplace, we're looking at about 5,000 Solana per day being traded total for everything listed on their platform. And for Magic Eden, about 78,000 Solana per day. I checked these numbers this morning. So that's the 24-hour volume that they're publishing on their websites right now. So obviously there's plenty of buyers out there. Let's discuss the different types of NFTs, because every investor is going to be considering what type of NFTs they're into. And we're going to go in depth in this video series about some of these different types of NFTs, but this is just a general overview so that you can see if you can find the kind of NFT for you in the Solana world. So first and foremost, my favorite type of NFT are NFT startup projects in DeFi, analytics tools, wallet trackers, sniping bots, Solana technical operations. There's all kinds of innovation, like again, that isn't happening really on Ethereum, where you can buy an NFT to help fund a startup, and then you're going to be along for the ride as they grow their company, as they grow in value, as they launch more tools. You're going to be part of that as an early investor, and those opportunities are really good right now. If you're into artwork, there's a lot of artwork plus utility projects, really similar to what you would see on Ethereum, where you buy the artwork NFT, you stake it, and you earn a utility token, and then you can use that token for various things. Maybe there's breeding, maybe there's fighting and battling, maybe there's a game involved. There's all kinds of utility projects out there, so if you like those, then this is also a good place for you. Gambling games, you don't see these on Ethereum because the gas fees are too high and the transactions are too slow. So on Solana, you can write a video game that runs in the browser that will allow you to like gamble your Solana. Whether this is legal or not, I think is a separate question. Do your own research on that. But right now there's a trend for all of these gambling NFTs where they're launching games, and then the people who hold the NFTs are getting daily passive income revenue. So if you like passive income, there are a couple different kinds of NFTs on Solana that are paying passive income to their holders right now. And then the last thing I want to mention is the metaverse and gaming trend. So you buy an NFT and it gives you access to a game, or it gives you access to items in a game, or it gives you access to some kind of metaverse experience. And those are also trending on Solana, just on Ethereum. So I think no matter what kind of NFTs you're interested in, that you like to do research on and trade, that you're bullish on, you're going to be able to find these on Solana. So let's discuss price ranges. This is just how I broke down the price ranges currently, and this is subject to change and a very subjective thing, but this is how I think about it. Low tier Solana projects are under 1 Solana, and if you're starting off with like a very small wallet, you can trade within that range, and you can build your wallet up as with that small of amount of money, which is pretty incredible opportunity for a lot of people who are, they don't have a lot of money getting started. Mid-tier Solana NFTs I consider to be in the 1 to 3 Solana range. And a lot of those projects, what happens is they pump and they'll mint for like 1 Solana, and then they'll pump up to 2 or 3, and then they'll dump over the week after the mint and kind of stay flat in that 1 to 2 range. This is just what I've seen. And then if it's a good project, and this doesn't happen every time, but if it's a good project and they have real value, then the community will eventually kind of search and find those things, and they'll make a big announcement, release some new feature, launch staking, whatever it is. There'll be some kind of impetus for the price to actually move up and move into the upper mid tier or even to the high tier range. And I've seen this happen on several projects now, and this is one of my favorite trading strategies on Solana, which I'll discuss in another video. For upper mid tier, the 4 to 8 range, these are projects that are well established. And For high tier projects, these ones are actually like blowing up. They've been in the mid tier range for a while, and some kind of impetus has brought the community's attention to the project, and there's like a supply crunch is usually what happens. And then they start to shoot up to that 15 Solana range, which is really cool to see. After that, you have blue chips, and blue chip Solana NFTs are ranging in price anywhere from 15 to 150 Solana at this point. And that's like a whole different world. You can definitely get into those. And I think that if you're bringing a lot of money over from your Ethereum wallet, and you're trying to diversify, that buying blue chip NFTs on Solana, they have a long ways to go up, because really 150 Solana in the grand scheme of things compared to blue chips on Ethereum, for example, it's just not that much money. So I think the projects that are established as blue chips right now could be good investments, not financial advice, but they could be good investments because they have a long ways to go up still. So stick around for the next video in this series, which is going to be Solana NFT trading strategies. We're going to break down the different strategies that you can use for buying and selling Solana NFTs. Once again, if you are an independent thinker and you like to do your own research and you want to be able to make informed decisions about Solana NFT investments, then check out the playlist. With that, thanks everybody. I will see you in the next video.